All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Tuesday to you. It is Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. This morning, we're going to talk a little bit about, getting serious about what you're good at. When you figure out, the journey to kind of figuring out what it is that you're good at in this life can be long. It can be, one that for many people takes a lifetime. But once you figure out what it is that you're good at, how do you leverage that into living a life that you actually want, building a business that is one that you enjoy waking up to go to, right? Waking up to a life that you actually enjoy, that fulfills you. And I think that it all starts with, each of us getting serious about what we're good at. And once we figure that out, once we figure out what it is that we're good at, finding a way to do that thing as often as possible every single day. And that is difficult. It's a journey to get to that point. And so that's what we're going to unpack this morning. Let's get started. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right, what's happening, guys? Happy Tuesday to you. Good to be here with you guys this morning. And I think this show is going to be one that I think will impact all of us, because regardless of how much we are doing what it is that we're good at, I think there's always room to be doing what we really are good at, more frequently. And the more that we figure out how to do that in our lives, the more success we create, the happier we are, the more fulfillment we have in our own lives. Just everything seems to get better when we figure out how to do what we're good at more frequently. And, what I said in the opening, I will repeat again for those who just jumped on. Figuring out what you're actually good at, man, for some people takes a lifetime. Some people takes 30, 40 years to figure out, because, when you're a kid, when you're growing up, for many of us, what we see is that, you go get a job, make sure that job has insurance. You probably work on building a family. You find somebody to spend your life with. You buy a home, and you save some money and you plan for retirement. And at least that was my vision of, kind of how life was supposed to go. And, early on in my career, I figured out that I was pretty good at a couple of things that I could make money at. One of those being sales, eventually that becoming leadership. And, as I started to figure that out, I started to figure out, like, man, if I could do more of that, I could make more money. I could be more successful. And then as I figured out how to do more of that, I figured out that I got happier in the process as well, right? When I figured out, kind of how to play in that sandbox that I really enjoyed being in, it was not only success, but it was a lot of happiness that came along with it. And so I want you guys to realize this morning, whatever it is that your gift is, whatever it is that, for many of us, that gift is probably pretty easy for other people to see. Sometimes it's a little more difficult for us to see in ourselves. I'm sure people can relate to that, or at least it's uncomfortable for us to admit what that gift is. Whatever that gift is for you, man, you got to figure that out, and you got to find a way to get serious about it. You got to find a way to spend as much time using that gift as you possibly can. And when you do that, you build a life, man, that you wake up to and you're really excited to live every single day. And so that's kind of where I'm at in my life. And I want to share with you guys, some of the tips that I have, some of the insight and perspective that I have on exactly how to do that. But first, as always, I want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening? Daniel Good, Ed, good morning. Trudy, David Martin, man, David Martin's all over Florida the last couple of days. Jared Bird, what's happening? Good morning, Sharif. Bob and Cynthia, good morning to you. Curtis, good morning. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And man, it's been. I just was looking at the downloads of the podcast yesterday, and it was just incredible. I did learn something though yesterday that I want to share with you guys before we jump back in here. If you guys have not left a review on iTunes for the podcast, so it is the Perspective Podcast. If you type in the Perspective Podcast, Brian Hess, it'll pull right up. And you could leave us a review there. You could leave a review for the podcast there. And when we get to 100 reviews, I think we got 20 something right now. When you get to 100 reviews, something happens on the podcast platform. Their algorithm changes and it distributes it to a lot more people. A lot more people are able to actually find the podcast as opposed to, having to search it out. It'll just feed into what people are looking for. So if you guys could do me a favor today, and anybody who hasn't left a review, takes a couple of seconds to go over there and just, tap whatever you want to rate it and hit submit. If you want to type something in, that'll take a couple seconds more. But man, it would mean the world to me if you guys could do that. So with that said, getting back to what we're talking about, getting serious about what you're good at, good morning, Lillian. Good morning, Rick, Christina. Good morning, guys. Thank you for being here. When you get serious about what you're good at and you really spend a lot of time focused on it, man, it's going to do incredible things for you. It's going to do incredible things for your financial freedom, your financial security. It's going to do a lot for your business. You're going to be a better leader. You're probably going to be a better husband, wife, father, mother, because you're actually doing something that you enjoy. And for a lot of people, when I start talking to business owners or people that we interact with through Top Contractor School or even through Lead Revenue or the Pavement Group, what I find a lot is that people aren't enjoying what they do, not at the level that they should. Even if they're in an industry that they enjoy, they're not actually enjoying what they do because they're spending a lot of time in their company doing things that they're not actually good at. And I did that for a lot of my life, right? I spent a lot of time doing things. And I think that, when you're building a business, that's kind of part of the process too. You have to spend some time doing things that you don't enjoy. You have to do some things that probably aren't even in your wheelhouse to get things started, right? To get things moving. But what I find is that people hold on to those things because they want to save money or they want to have control or they want, something that doesn't necessarily serve them, but they're holding on to those things that they're not actually good at for all the wrong reasons. And so what I want to challenge you guys to think about today is this, number one, what is your gift? What is that thing that God put inside of you that makes you be able to do better than anybody? And if I go through this list of people that I am very familiar with that tune in here every morning or that I know on a personal level, if you guys don't know what your gifts are, give me a ring because I do. I am very well aware. As I look at the names on this list, I could tell you exactly what your gifts are, exactly what you're good at. And if you can spend more time in your life doing those things that you are good at, man, you're going to create this massive energy in your life, this massive fulfillment that maybe you haven't experienced to this point. And the more you are able to lean into those things that you really enjoy, that people really enjoy about you, because that is what your gift is, that is what you're great at, your life is just going to get better. It's not complicated. Now, what's complicated is going from being a human being that is living in patterns, that is living in this state of just waking up every day and doing the same thing over and over and over again because, well, I have bills, is what I hear a lot. Well, I can't do that because I have bills to pay. There's always a way. And if you are one of those people that tries to talk yourself out of this type of progress in your life, spending more time doing the things that you actually enjoy, then you need to listen closely because there is a way. But you have to be willing to see that. You have to be willing to spend time to create that vision for yourself of what it looks like. How can I get there? And laying out those steps and then going to work on how do you execute them? How do you actually execute on the steps that it takes to be able to create the space in your life to step into doing the things that you're good at far more often? Everything's possible, but you have to live your life with intention. You have to get very clear on what it is that you want, and you have to start moving in the direction of creating it for yourself. Moving in the direction of making progress in those areas. And so when you figure out what you're good at, when you figure out what your gift is, and it doesn't matter what it is, guys, doesn't matter what it is. If you spend time doing that gift, if you can spend more time doing that thing that you're really good at, you will create more success in every aspect. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what that is. I know people that, they loved cutting grass when they were a kid, and they created a landscaping company that does millions of dollars a year. That is what they genuinely enjoy doing. Like, you talk to them about landscaping and they light up. For some people, that's sales. For some people, that's inspiring others. For some people, that's being an ear for people that need it. But when you spend time thinking about what it is that you're good at, what it is that you're great at, what it is that God has gifted you with, when you spend time thinking about that, and then you spend time creating space in your life to do it more often, wait until you see what happens. Every aspect of your life will get better. Every aspect of those people that interact with you will get better, because you will find a way to elevate those people. There's a lot of people in this list here that are excellent at being a good listener, at being a communicator, making people feel good. That's a gift. How do you spend more time doing that? How do you create that space in your life? How do you get more intentional about how frequently you're doing it? All of these things are important, and all of these things hinge on the happiness that you have in your life. The level of happiness that you're able to have, the level of fulfillment that you're able to have, is connected to how often you spend time in your gifts versus how often you are doing the things that you don't enjoy, that people probably don't enjoy doing with you because you don't enjoy them. For me, an example of that is, I don't want to do accounting in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to do it. It's not, I can do it. I don't enjoy doing it. And so I don't try to get into that any more than I have to, right? I know what I need to do. I know how I need to oversee certain things, and that's it. And the rest of the time I try to spend, being a business developer, which I love, being a marketer, which I love, being a salesperson, a communicator, an inspirer of people, a motivator. All the things that I've been gifted with in my life, that I've spent a lot of time studying and pouring into my own mind, the knowledge necessary to become great at those things. When I spend time doing those things, I feel energized. When I spend time doing other things that I don't enjoy, I don't feel motivated at all. I feel the opposite. So I ask you guys, are any of you out there doing something every single day that you don't actually enjoy? And if you are, you need to look at that and change it. You need to look at that and change it. And it doesn't matter if it costs you money. You can figure that out. Because the more time you spend in your own gifts, the more time you spend helping people with what it is that you are passionate about, the better your life's going to get, the more money you will eventually make and attract into your life. It all starts with spending time getting serious about what you're good at. I hope this is hitting home for you guys. I hope that this message has made you think. I hope it's provided you with some perspective that helps you really process, what am I doing every day? Am I just showing up just because that's where I get paid? Not really what I enjoy, not really what's a priority in my life. It's just, kind of what I need to do to make it. You were born to do something great with your life, guys. And if you don't realize that yet, I hope that the day comes very soon that you do. You were not put here to be average. When you were created in God's image and likeness, you were not created to show up every day and do something you don't like with people that you don't like. You were created in his image to wake up every day and be a gift to this world, to show up and light the fire in other people that burns inside of you to be great at whatever it is that you're great at. So get serious about it. Think about that today. Think about what it is that you could do differently today that would help you be more inspirational, that would help you be personally more fulfilled and more happy. That is what greatness actually looks like. It's not about how much money you make. It's about making the biggest impact in this world. The money is a byproduct. Real success, guys, is happiness. It's fulfillment. That's real success. I know a lot of people got a lot of money that are miserable. And I know some people that have a lot of money because they do what they love to do every single day. And they make this world a better place in the process because they always have a smile on their face. They're always pushing forward. It doesn't mean they don't have problems, but they're always inspired to do something bigger and better and to reach out to people and help them and show them the way because that's what's been done for them. Real success, guys, is not in the commas or the digits in your bank account. It's about taking that step back and stepping into what you were put here to do. So get serious about what you're good at. Think about that today. And let me know if this message helped you or you need some help getting focused. Please shoot me a DM. If you guys have my number, shoot me a text message. Would love to hear your story. Would love to be part of that journey with you because it's one of the most important things that you could have in your life is the clarity of what you're good at, what God has gifted you with, and how you can use it. That's it for today, guys. I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for